favorite movie, Harvey?
Western.
Do you have a favorite one?
No favorite, but I like John Wayne.
Why do you like John Wayne?
Well, he's a good cowboy. He's well dressed, for one thing. He got a nice horse.
We used to always tease Harvey because his idea of an exciting Friday night was watching TV and drinking orange soda and having potato chips. That was the highlight of his week because he worked all week on the farm.
We bought the farm in 1938. We were there till 30 years.
They moved out on the farm, I think, when he was like in 6th grade, and he never went to school beyond that. He's a very simple person, and he always lived on the farm with my grandma and grandpa. And then after that, he moved to an apartment, and then he got married when he was like, I think he was in his 40s, late 40s when he married. I couldn't even tell you how old he was.
She was a big help to me. She kept the house clean. She bought me what I wanted. Without her, I would have been lost. I never lived alone.
She passed away in 2001.
Hi Dan, this is Susan calling from Elder Abuse. Have you had dealings with the daughter? She's the POA for healthcare. This department began receiving calls in 2001 was the first call. Harvey's wife died. A couple months later, this woman convinced Harvey that she should move in with him in order for her to take care of him. And he bit.
She told everyone, and Harvey said too, that if something happened to Gene, was supposed to take care of him. So we just assumed that that's what he had wanted.
It was just a few months after that that family was isolated from him, and they started to notice something going wrong.
We went to see him in the hospital 2 years ago. He told my sister and I to get out of his room. He didn't want to see us anymore. He didn't want us in his life. But when he did it, he was looking at the floor, and he wouldn't look at us and say it, so you know it wasn't him talking. It was the person who was caring for him, and she had told him to tell us that.
She would move him from nursing home to nursing home, switch from doctor to doctor, so that we couldn't find him.
The Department of Aging called and asked me if I was still interested in being his guardian because a nursing home in Menominee Falls had called and said my uncle was there and the caregiver had dropped him off, said he had no living relatives, and that she wasn't going to take him back when they called to say he was ready to come home.
Which person's going to be assigned? I had been in communication with Gail, Poppert, and other family members for a couple of years before this, so I was well aware that she was a very caring niece.
We had promised him we would eventually, my cousin Larry, he said, ask Larry and Nancy if I can live, and I said, no, I won't ask them. I said, they'll have to decide for themselves. So they came down and talked to Harvey one day, and they decided, well, it was the same old Uncle Harvey, so he could come and stay with them.
My husband and I have been the only ones that have been real close to Harvey. Okay, I'm going to turn the walker. And he cried and begged. And how do you turn away family when they're crying and begging you?
Well, he was always kind. Easygoing, kind, trusted everybody. Never had anything bad to say about anybody. He was always just, nonchalant about everything. And if you asked him to do something, he'd do it. If he needed help, he'd ask you and you'd help him out. There was no problems with any of that.
See, he takes at least
He was diabetic at the time. Since he's been up north, they've been able to take him off of a lot of them.
Harvey, if I keep giving you pills, you're gonna die. And he says, I'd rather die than live like this. You're borderline. of medicating and not medicating. Because you don't want to live, and yet you gotta watch everything you give them. Because you can overdo it.
We had been told by my dad that he had a substantial amount of money put aside to care for me if something happened to his wife. That's been depleted. His house was put in foreclosure, so most everything is gone.
If he's penniless, so be it. You know, the damage is done, but he, instead of dying alone in some remote nursing home that she got him to, you know, under the radar, he is safe and happy.
Yeah, Gail's helped me. They're all helping me. Larry and Nancy, Gail. I need help.
He's happy. He's safe. He's got a quality of life, or maybe he's got a year or two left in his life. I don't know. But he is out of the clutches of this con woman. I believe his life was saved.